Allah and was pleased with Allah. As one of the Salaf, Ibn Allah, he said, if you want to know your status with Allah, look into how much He has given you the ability to be steadfast. We're talking about Ibrahim alayhi salam being steadfast. We know his status because of his steadfastness. If you want to know your station with Allah, then look at your religion. How steadfast you are upon this deen of Islam. Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِبْرَاهِيمَ الَّذِي وَفَّى, which means that Ibrahim is the one who fulfilled and complied all the regulations which Allah had set for him. So why was Ibrahim alayhi salam called a nation in one man? The answer is in the same verse. Because he was one who used to worship at night. He used to supplicate by day. He was tearful in his prayers, full of awe, fear, and hope in Allah Most High. When he was ordered to sacrifice his son, his only reply was, "You, O my Lord, are more beloved to me than any part of my liver." Meaning, I love you more than anything in this world. SubhanAllah. And I will indeed sacrifice my son for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعُهُ سَعْيًا قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ إِنِّي أَرَى فِي الْمَنَامِ أَنِّي أَذْبَحُكَ فَانْظُرْ مَاذَا تَرَى. Ibrahim alayhi salam, when his son Ismail became to an age where he was able to walk with him and learn from him, maybe his son was Mufassirin is at 10 years old, he said to him, "Oh my son, I've seen in a dream that I was slaughtering you. So what do you think about this?" What do you think his son said? He said, "Ya abati if'al ma tu'mar, satajiduni insha'Allah min as-sabirin." Subhanallah. He said, "Oh my father, do that which you have been ordered. Do that which you have been ordered. You will find me of the most patience." I see some very young boys here with me, between the ages of 6 and 12 perhaps here, maybe 13, 14. Your father is not going to say to you, "Oh my son, I've seen in a dream I have to slaughter you." He's not going to say that. But he's going to say to you, "Oh my son, pray 5 times a day. Oh my son, be righteous, do good and don't do bad." Are you going to say to him, "Okay, my father, order me with whatever you have to do, and I will do this"? Because that is an example for you all. فلما أسلم وتل للجبين وناديناه يا إبراهيم قد صدقت الرؤيا إن كذلك نجزي المحسنين. And then when he turned his head, laid him on the altar to sacrifice him, you know, he laid him such that the back of his neck was facing up and his face was facing down. Why do you think Ibrahim alayhi salam did this? Because of his love for his Lord. And he didn't want to see the face of his son in case it made him weak. And he wanted to please his Lord. So he turned him in this position. So when he struck from the back of the neck, he wouldn't see the anguish, the pain, the sorrow, the worry, or the fear, or whatever expires on the face of his son. But just before the knife came down, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called out to Ibrahim. I said, "Oh Ibrahim, you have indeed fulfilled your instruction, the dream you had. And like this we will reward those good doers." And so he showed him the sheep, the lamb, and then he slaughtered a sheep. And that was a day of rejoicing, and this is why we have Eid al-Adha. So look how he was with his iman. If any of us were ever tested in such a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to us we had to sacrifice our children, would we be able to fulfill or turn that iman into action? When a trial increases in hardship for a person, it becomes crystal clear whether that person is like a dust being blown around by the wind, or iron which rusts when placed in water, or whether he's like gold or diamonds which are cleansed by water and fire, which are polished by water and fire. The latter, this last example, is how the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi was, like a diamond. He was like gold, which only fire can polish it and water can cleanse it. Unlike us, which may be just like dust being blown around in the wind. If a trial descends upon us, a hardship, we find ourselves depressed, we find ourselves, chasing after everything in the world to help us and forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't make no dua. We don't ask Allah to save us or forgive us, or we don't do the things which we know deep down will help us. And above all, we don't comply with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's instructions. But from this example of Ibrahim alayhi salam, we learn how to face our difficulties. Patience is the key that we learn from Ibrahim alayhi salam. When the child first inflicts his wound, what is it we should do? We turn, like Ibrahim alayhi salam, immediately to thankfulness to Allah. Alhamdulillah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Rather than when it first hits and the wound happens, we're panicking, we're running, we're shouting for the world and the dunya, the makhluk, to help us and aid us. But little do we turn to the Creator, who has the key to solve all of our problems.